Isn't it a beautiful day? It's a beautiful day here. I don't know if it's beautiful where you are, although it's probably beautiful. We were supposed to do the book club today, and that got changed because our author has a bunch of deadlines, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Can you hear me?
Mm-mm. Oh, wait, it's...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. Something's going on. It's like not playing all of a sudden. Let me turn off the Wi-Fi on mine.
Is the Wi-Fi on mine? Okay. All right, so you can hear me. All right, and I just have to say, it is such a great morning because Claudia's here and she's 6 feet away.
Say hi.
Say hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
And there's Barnaby. Can you see Barnaby?
No, I'll turn the...
And a raven is flying by just as we say that. Anyway, good morning. Are people here?
Looking.
I thought we'd have some fun today.
Yes,
some energy fun. So, first and foremost, our book club today was supposed to be with this author of Beautiful Jim Key. So we've moved it to June 16th. I think that's the next Tuesday. She was under a lot of deadlines, and to be quite honest, it's really small print and a lot of pages, and I wasn't quite done. So I was going to have to fake it tomorrow, or today, and I'm actually really grateful. She was relieved, and it's going to be really fun. So if you haven't gotten the book, Beautiful Jim Key, it's such a great story. Isn't it a great story, Claudia?
It's great.
It's
It's
the smartest horse alive. He got famous, and it's a feel-good story that, you know, in a time that didn't feel good, and weird. We don't know anything about that, do we? So if you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, author, founder of Communication with All Life University, and in that program, in that big program, we have animal communication, everything from a small class to a full-on certification. We have energy healing, anything from a small class to do it yourself at home to, getting certified as an energy healer. And we also have programs that we're building out, and we have a really cool thing coming on wildlife starting in December. Just seeding that now. And next week we start the Energy Healing for Animals, Level 1, and that is a 10-week, there 12 weeks of material, but 10 weeks of 10 weeks of calls at least. I always throw bonus calls in. And we build really amazing tapping scripts. So, are the cats flying above me?
Yeah, you had a cat fly above you.
Did you see? Did they? Oh, dang! Yeah, the flying cats. So anyway, in that course, we worked through several scripts. We worked through writing scripts for bad behavior for the person and the animal, and then you tap with each other. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. And one thing that happens for sure is that from start to finish, your household will change. I mean, it will change for the better because you will be a better emotional leader, and you will have gained a skill set that will help you be able to deal with challenges from behavior to illness to, how to come to terms with things. So there's that. And then we also have the animal communication, death, dying, and beyond, intro to death, dying, and beyond in June. And then in July we have intro to finding lost animals through animal communication. So lots of fun virtual retreats coming up. And then of course the fall intensive, which is animal communication, energy healing, and a much deeper class on on animals in transition, death, dying, and beyond. So I'd love for, if you're interested in any of those, you can reach out. We are starting to really get geared up for the fall, and I'd like to say that we're going to do it here in person, but we did the spring retreat was completely done in as a virtual course, and so we're preparing to do both. We're going to have some people here, and then there will be the online component. So there you go.
So we have a couple of people. Angela Compton says, "Hi, Joan. Happy to see you."
Thank you.
Leslie
Hi.
Williams says, "Hi."
Hi.
Carrie Betts says, "Hi. It's so gorgeous. Such a gorgeous morning in Maine."
Hi,
Sorry.
Carrie.
Cindy Gans Turner says, "Hello, my honorable teacher and her favorite filmer." Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
Megan Gay says, "Hi, Joan. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Megan."
Hi, Megan.
Christy Goddard Christy says, "I could use help with this one of my rescues. Challenges food and attention aggression with his mate."
Oh.
And Chris Houghton Wilson says, "Good morning."
Good morning. Okay, well, let's put a little bookmark there. Yes, maybe we can do some tapping.
And Kathy Boyer says, "Hi, Joan and Claudia."
Hi, Kathy. Kathy is now one of the teachers in the program.
Yes,
she got thrown into the pool during the spring intensive, and yeah, so that's fun.
And we have Penny on also. Hi,
Oh,
Penny.
hey, Penny. And
Hi,
Penny
Joan,
just
Claudia,
got a new beloved named Winston.
So cute.
So cute.
I love his name so much.
I know. And why don't you post a picture of him in the I think that for sure.
Cindy Summerall says, "Good morning."
Oh,
from
hey,
Utah.
Cindy.
A beautiful day.
I bet it's gorgeous. All right. Well, it's a very good morning to talk about energy. How is everybody's energy out there right now? How are you feeling? That would be a really good place to start. Let's get just kind of a temperature gauge here on how people are doing. Dun, 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 dun. We're going to give it some time.
Jane is on. Jane,
Oh, Jane, we've missed you. Where have you been?
She took a social media break.
Vacation. Vacay. That was smart.
Very smart.
Yeah. I have people posting for me again, and I'm so glad. I love doing this, but we've missed you, Jane.
Nancy Aiken says her energy is low.
Okay. Anyone else?
Penny Renfrew says her energy is great. It's a beautiful morning. Donna Callion says low, pretty lazy. Chris Houghton Wilson says energy is in the middle. And then something here. Okay, Donna Callion said something about her cats. So, "Good morning, glad I made it to this class. My 2 male cats are fighting with each other to the point of having one getting 9 stitches."
Oi.
Cindy Summerall says her energy is ups and down, but being aware more. Megan Gay says, "Been longing, so wanting to be with friends." Cindy Gans Turner said her energy is mediocre. Christy Goddard says she's a little anxious. Kathy Boyer, oh my gosh, says, "And I just brought my new cat home 30 minutes ago. My energy has been high." Oh.
Your cat is so beautiful.
Oh.
You get to post a picture of your cat in here, too.
She looks like a little snowy owl.
I know. She's so beautiful.
Colette says her energy's a roller coaster. Carrie, irritated yet grounded.
Our little resident fairy.
Oh my God. And Jane says, "Aloha everybody. I am working on a few virtual events, so have been busy as I have never done that before, and just needed a digital detox from social media. Ready to lock the 3 kids in the group."
That's funny.
I
don't know anything.
I'll send you mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, there's lots of things we can do to ground our energy. And one of the first steps in my meditation when we're doing animal communication, and one of the first steps in the scalar wave is literally to just put our feet on the ground. And I do this all the time. And just take a breath. And imagine you're breathing in from the bottom of your feet and you're exhaling from the bottom of your feet. And you're really anchoring yourself. You're really grounding yourself. And grounding is, as we know from the animals, the most important thing we could do. Grounding, relaxation, I mean, that's the only way you're going to shift a behavior or you're going to be able to help start in the healing process. Been working a lot with I realized I thought that we had a miracle a week ago with the pigs at the Gentle Barn, and I didn't realize then the next day I was going to be involved with this giant rescue with the Gentle Barn brought in 2 mamas with babies who were born on the slaughterhouse floor, and I literally was there. And I mean, I'm privy to a lot because she's one of my dearest friends, and I don't share a lot. I always ask, may I? But those baby cows, and I do have pictures, and I almost feel badly that I have pictures because this is something else about energy. I don't want to ever see that again. Right? I don't want to see those babies as that. That's how fragile and terrible they came in. And their mothers were catatonic. They didn't even go after us when we'd try to help the babies. Whereas the other ones there at the Gentle Barn, at the Healing Center, you couldn't get near the mothers. You could certainly not get near the baby. So being grounded and being relaxed is always important because, you're dealing with Jay, who then had to go to the slaughterhouse and do this, and he's trying to be the cool guy and just take care of everything, but he's shattered. And then you've got, Ellie, who wants to just, yeah, I know. Claudia, there's Kleenex somewhere. And I think in one of those drawers. Then you've got Ellie, who's going to mama everything. And so then it's like, my job is just to still keep holding the vision of what is going on. And we've been up and down with it. It's been, if you've been watching the Gentle Barn, you know then that there have been some highs and lows. But today, so the one baby wasn't walking, and I was able to go in and do acupressure and a lot of stuff to get her walking. And then it turns out it was a brain infection. I just knew it was neurological, so I just started working from that standpoint. And I want to talk about body work here in a minute. And so anyway, we got her going one night. Then she was great the next day. It's been like this. But what I have to be in this, and so for the woman with the fighting cats and then the rescue, the 2 people on board that have talked about their challenges, the first step is being able to ground. And Carrie Betts could certainly write what she's had to do with, she's got a tornado dog at her house, and he's 70 pounds. A 70-pound tornado coming at you. But he's much better now. And like Penny, she changed the name. She's done a lot of grounding stuff. But, taking a breath, and when you're in and just breathing in the Earth's energy is the best thing on the planet. I know a lot of spiritual things like to have you connected here. My guess is if you're in this group, you've already got a great connection. I'm not going to question that. What we tend to do is live up here then and forget that we need to be down here. And this is where the animals are. And so when we're able to be on a level playing field with them, then we can make a shift. And we're the emotional leader of it. So that's kind of my little number 1 tip for today of like breathing into the bottom of your feet. It's the beginning of all of our animal communication and all of our healing techniques here. And I've had times where at one point I was married, and we had a boat down the British Virgin Islands, and the boat hit a reef, and I went in to get help. If you leave a boat in international waters, there are real pirates, and they would have owned the boat. So my husband stayed on the boat while I went to get help. And of course, it was a holiday, and I had to go through customs. It was a whole thing. So, because we were at St. Croix. I remember sitting there, standing on seeing the boat out there sinking, and knowing I had the dinghy, so then a husband's going to have to swim in. And I literally sat there and breathed into the bottom of my feet and composed myself. I mean, I've done it a million times with animal emergencies, but even with people emergencies. And then I was able, when I grounded and then got my helpers going, all of a sudden a dive boat came by and pulled our boat off the reef. But it wouldn't have happened if I would have been all like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I couldn't have had the thought process to get into, oh, I can't do anything about this. I'm going to pray, right? And then it was like answered within a second. What's going on?
Carrie, she said, yes, I do, the tornado.
Mm-hmm.
She says, he's definitely come a long way. He has taught me to keep my feet on the ground. When I'm not standing in my power and unaware of my surrounding, it's a difficult day with him. So not only have I been helping him, he's been helping me.
Sometimes that's the canary in the coal mine, right? Like it's the reminder, like, whew, I'm really ungrounded. I'm not in my best right now. So that's my number one. Then another thing that's really worth doing, and I love thinking about this, is, one more little thing about the grounded. So with the scalar wave, which I do every morning before I meditate, we're doing that, and then we run our energy. But I want to say that when I also do something, and I do this other thing that I never talk about. It's just really simple. But the minute I stand up, I run. I like clear my meridians. So it's like we can all do this right now, and sometimes I do it sitting. So again, with your feet on the ground, and your feet are there, and then I just imagine that as I breathe up through my body and back down, I've just given myself a little meridian cleanse. So let's go ahead and do this over 3 breaths. So breathe in, and you don't have to know where your meridians are. They know where they are. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And that's another thing that just connects you up to your whole body and to the earth. And the more we are in that space, the better we are. Now, here's a third little tip that is pretty handy to know about, and it's something you can do with your animals. Let's say, I'm not flying. I used to fly every month, so I had to do this a lot, but I haven't flown anywhere in a few months. But one thing that an airplane does, or even driving in a car on the freeway, is it messes with your electromagnetic field. And when you mess with your electromagnetic field, your polarity can often turn off. So one of my favorite little tips is, like, if you're really clumsy or things like you keep dropping things or whatever, your polarity is probably off. If you've been sitting in front of the computer too long, now again, sometimes just walking, this puts you back where you're just walking. So I tend to like swing my arms when I'm walking down to feed lunch for the horses or things like that. But one way to put your polarity back really quickly is to go from your right eye to your left eye 6 to 8 times. And it just feels good. And so when you're working on a dog, Delilah, come here. You do it from the right eye to the left eye. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she just licked. So anyway, I do it on my horses all the time. If you have a spooky horse, if you have, 2 cats fighting, dogs, sometimes um, just doing that. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what would happen with Wiley, with Winston, with that new cat that Kathy has. You know, just to, especially I think Kathy's cat is blind, so that I see so many blind animals where it's like their third eye is like so activated. It might be really calming just to do that for her. So those are some little basic things, grounding things, and we'll do one more breathing thing. Does anyone have any questions so far? Questions, comments, observations?
I'm going back. Okay. Angela Compton says, I have a 1-year-old Australian Shepherd who is stressed and nervous about other dogs and noises on leash. We have had him since 8 weeks. He has an older Aussie brother who is very quick to try and correct him. We have been walking them separately for 1.5 months to correct this. Any suggestions or help is appreciated, although being grounded is something I need to do more of. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a minute.
Megan Gay says, grounding and tapping helps so much after Chloe was attacked. And Carrie says, we do scalar on our walks. I actually say it out loud to them. People in the neighborhood think I'm crazy. And Jane Harada said, Carrie Betts will send, she asked Carrie if she can send her 3 tornadoes to Carrie. Carrie said, sure, bring them on. And Jane said, Carrie Betts will send them today, no gift backs. Stevie says she's going to try the polarity with baby G before she rides her.
Oh, yeah. Stevie's someone that's had such a miracle between the tapping and everything with her horse. Like, she's really, her household has changed and continues to change. So that's cool.
And you have someone sitting next to you who has changed dramatically thanks to
the energy healing for animals. My co-host, Barnaby.
He's sleeping on the job.
Yeah. Okay. So then another thing that I think, so I think of the meridian clearing, and then I love to play with my aura. And this is something, we'll just take a moment. So I want you to imagine this is your center right here, right? And we're going to breathe in and out from right there. So I want you to take a breath in. And imagine you're pulling your aura into your center. And hold it for a moment as if it's in the washing machine. And then you're going to send it out on the exhale as if it's some luminescent fairy wing. Super charged aura. And then bring it in. And you're just making it all sparkly. And let it out. And bring it in. And let it out. And one last time, bring it in. And hold it in the center. And let it really get charged and beautiful and glowy and perfect. And let it out. And so this is one of those things that I know, okay, I took a picture of a hummingbird and I posted it the other day, right? That hummingbird let me get this far away from her with my phone. And the reason I got this far away from her is I pull myself in. I pull myself in on a regular basis when I'm around wildlife. And then when I need to, like when my horses are being naughty and I don't have a halter on and I'm trying to get this horse to go there and that horse to go there and I'm just doing it with my fingers and they're not responding, poof, I get big. Like that. And all of a sudden, Anya's going in the right place and Gabrielle's going in the right place and Drakar's coming out. And it's just a matter of really being able to play with your energy field. And so we want it small for wildlife, unless, of course, you have a pack of coyotes coming at you. Then you're just like, I'm bigger than you.
I saw you do that this morning with the horses.
Yeah, I did it. Definitely did it this morning with the horses. You know, I do it with the dogs. So being able to, so those are just some little fun tips, energy tips, you know, being able to just ground, clearing your meridians so that you're in your best health. switching up your polarity, and then doing the aura, playing with your aura, like cleansing it, but also knowing that that you can use that ability with that energy field to get closer to wildlife and get animals to know that you're in charge. Okay, so what was the first one about the aggressive dogs?
It's a Christy Goddard. Hold on, let me go back.
So do you have a rescue, and are they?
I think it's a rescue adopted.
Okay. Are you gonna have some of my
I'm
coffee with me?
I'm getting there. Oh my. Here, one of my rescues challenges food and attention aggression with his mate. So food aggression and attention aggression. I'm looking.
Well, for one thing, I always talk about there's animal communication, there's energy healing, there's training, and there's management. And that to me is one of those things that's training and management. You're probably in management right now and probably in training. It's definitely something that could be, we could tap on. What do you think for that? And what happens to your energy field when they go into that? Because that's the biggest thing I see is that, every other animal communicator on the planet will sit there and tell you like, oh, they're picking up on our stuff. And I'm here to tell you, we often are picking up on their stuff. And so what you may have happen for you, I'll tell you a funny little piece. The other day, last week, which seems like months ago, now that I've dealt with these baby cows every day, when I tapped with Ellie on the 2 pigs that were fighting, right? And she wanted to put them together. Tapped on the girl who attacked Honey Bear. So Menorah had attacked Honey Bear when she first went to put them out, and it freaked Ellie out. So at one point, I tap on Menorah about kind of like boys are rapists, and then I tap on him about like he's always got that kick me sign, and he has been attacked by other pigs. And now they're a giant happy family. But there was one moment when, it's just almost comical if you can imagine this. Imagine 1 week after I tap on them, we say we're going to put them together. We've got all these people standing by with pig gear, boards in case we have to separate them. And so I'm just in the stall for a moment with Ellie, and she looks at me and she's like, we don't have to do this today. And I felt all this anxiety come to my throat, and I went, that's hers. And I pushed it back down and I said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right now. And she said, okay. But literally when you're that aware, you can feel when someone else is affecting you like that. And our animals often do. So when you see that sort of, that stance of that first, second, and third chakra going into, and the head gets taller, take a gauge of where you are, because that may not start, that probably didn't start from you. It probably started there, and you're just picking up on it, and then you go into and now we've compounded. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so she said she adopted 2 rescued bassets. They told her they were bonded. So it's the 2 bassets, I guess, that's happening with. She says, I try to let him know I'm in charge. I stand between or put them in different spaces.
I think for right now, it's something that, like, if I've got a lot of students that are trying to get their, get to their 65 case studies.
She just said,
What's that?
On what you were talking about with Ellie and the anxiety coming up.
Oh my God. It was almost like a cartoon. Someone saying, because once I felt her fear, I was like, oh no, we're going to do this. And we can do this.
You've done that with me.
Yeah, I have.
after a car.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it is just, it's literally that old saying of getting a hold of yourself. Because when your fear rises, we do one of two things. We either pop out of the top of our head and we go into flight, or we go inside even deeper, and it's painful, right? So number one, just see how you do in this next few days. And I think can they write to customer care if they want a tapping a student?
For this, like Joan said, there's students, including myself, who are finishing their case studies in EFT tapping, scalar wave, and animal communication. So if you would like to have be one of the case studies, please email customercare@joanranquet.com, and Joan will assign you she'll match you to the right student.
And maybe put in the subject line, students, please.
Yeah, student case studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Student case studies.
Yeah, and then we'll get those bassets sorted out.
Yeah.
I mean, they sound really cute, and we'd love to have a picture here.
Well, I just want to. Barnaby is Basset Shepherd, so Bassets are.
And we're just hoping that the mom was the Basset.
She was the Basset Shepherd. We don't know what Dad was.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hold on. Someone.
And then the cats.
Yeah. Megan Gay says, "So beautiful and how healing for Ellie." Christy says, "Yes, please. I will send an email. Thank you." Hold on, we've got Andrea Bailey Loper says such great stuff when you were talking about energy and everything. Going back, Stevie actually talked about how tapping on herself. She wrote about how tapping on herself.
That was amazing.
She was able to not even tap on Baby G. She tapped on herself and then was able to ride after a year. So.
And that goes back to what I talk about in both of my books. If you are the emotional leader, right? Like if you can recognize how much you've got your own stuff and you're picking up on their stuff, and particularly when you're dealing with two dogs, you're dealing with two other beings' feelings and your own. So if you can cut their stuff out, get a hold of your stuff, you can be the emotional leader. And it doesn't have to be the boss. It's just the leader out of the mess. Right? It doesn't have to be an alpha thing. The reason I call it emotional leadership is because I think some women have had a weird feeling around being alpha. I think alpha is not always the best word for it. Lead mare, sometimes, I've been called that, which is also known as a bitch. I wear it with pride, but I've got two of them. But all right, Claudia's back and snorting. But anyway, no, it's so emotional leader. It doesn't mean that you're fine with it all, but you can lead your way out of it, whatever that is. Are people calling me a bitch now?
People are laughing.
Oh, okay.
So Donna Kalin says the cats are brothers and super sweet, just not to each other. They are 3 years old. Kona goes after Buddha. I love the names. And then I think Buddha got tired of it and just took after him.
And so who ended up with the stitches? Kona?
I think so.
Okay. So...
Cindy Gens Turner says she's missed this craziness.
I know.
What Marie Christine called us yesterday.
I know. We were on it. So we're coming out with international classes, by the way. So I was on with my international teachers yesterday on Zoom, and Marie Christine called us Abbott and Costello.
She's like, I hope you guys didn't get offended. No.
It's perfect.
So yes, Kona did end up with the stitches.
So here's what I would, actually, all right. I'm going to show you one thing that I do with my cats. I'm sure you do it every day, all day. But Delilah, where's my demo dog? Delilah.
She's asleep.
Yeah, she's tired. We did a big hike. Okay, Barnaby.
Here she comes.
Okay.
Here she. Oh, such a good girl.
Good girl.
No,
Come
over
here.
There. Over there, not me.
Delilah. Delilah, come here. Okay, she's got like burrs in her still. Okay, we didn't have time to brush. So I love a good bladder sweep.
Hold on, let me make this so I can bring it down.
And again, this goes to the meridians, you know.
That's the bladder sweep, right?
Yeah, and so come here. All right, good. So you go from the bladder meridian starts here, bladder 1. It's what we tap on. So going like this 3 times, and cats love it, and you want to get to the end of the tail. And then you can go down their hind legs and really ground them. So that's one thing I would do with those cats. And again, if you want to have a student work with you and Buddha and Kona, that we would love to help.
She's all loving on me today.
She misses you. Yeah, missed you. I know. Do you want to come up? No.
He says Buddha is the sleepy one, would rather lay in bed. Kona's the more playful. And Carrie says every morning she does the bladder sweep on Wiley, and he loves it.
Yeah, it's how you ground a tornado. Good luck, Jane.
Do it on the 3 kids.
She'd rather be with her dogs. So anyway, there's, yeah, so that's another tip for just kind of grounding your household. And even with cats, I mean, like, my cats come by and demand it almost every morning. Henry does, Queen Latifah does, Buster Keaton does, Francesca does. So I'm bladder sweeping all day.
Melissa Olvit says, I have lost the lead mare because of grief and finding it hard to get back fully in my position. So she identifies with being a lead mare too.
Yeah.
Melissa, you and I are going to tap, so.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that up and down thing, right, of grief. And if it's just a moment of leadership, through, almost like walking through a ring of fire, right? Like, I'm going to get us through this. With our household doesn't have to be all jumbled. Like, going back to the 2 cats, one thing that I talk about in both of my books is visualizing, and I would really spend some time, if Buddha's the sleepy one, just the next time you snap a picture of Kona sleeping, put those pictures next to each other and just always envision them, just that they do get along, that they are happy laying together. And then Megan had one. No, someone else. Maybe it was Megan.
Yeah, hold on. It was.
Oh, and there was something about an Aussie. Somebody had an Aussie.
Yes, the 1-year-old Aussie with the older Aussie. They have to walk them.
Okay, so let's talk about that. The first thing, I had that challenge with Delilah, and we made a huge video about it with the dog trainer, and then the sound didn't. What did we do? We don't have that video, do we?
We have the video. It doesn't have sound.
It doesn't have sound. So anyway, I did a lot of work around that, and Delilah was really dependent when she was the puppy on the 2 bigger sisters, and then once both of them died, I had a dog that at 7, I didn't know, 6 years old, I didn't even know who she was in this way. So I guess it's been 3 years. So she's 8. So she was 5. At 5 years old, I had a different dog. And if you've been a friend of mine on Facebook for years, you know that when I lived in Seattle, we were dog hiking with sometimes anywhere from 17 to 32 dogs every Tuesday, right? That was our ritual. So she loved other dogs. It wasn't that. So there are several things I did. And again, we can get you a student. I would do the bladder sweep. I did tapping. I grounded. And I did a lot of dog training. And in the dog training, now, I don't know if you noticed this morning when the 3 dogs ran to go chase the neighbor dogs, who stood by me? Delilah stands by me. I went so much into the emotional leadership because if there's no other time for emotional leadership, it's when a dog has leash aggression. And so I would venture to say, especially knowing working breeds, you might even be looking at leash exuberance. So it starts out like, oh, and then goes, oh. really quickly. And what you have to do is be able to catch that moment and before it happens and say, I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. I mean, she would go, I don't know if you saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but there was a very scary character in there called Large Marge. Delilah would go from Farrah Fawcett to Large Marge in about 30 seconds. And it was so gnarly.
I've seen that.
Yeah, where you don't even know who she is, right? It's like Cujo. And she's just so scared, she pops out of her body, right? So the bladder sweep puts them back in their body. And sometimes I would literally have her growling so badly, I'd have a hold of the leash with on one hand, and I would have a hold of her hind end just to remind her to stay in her body, and then remind her, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, and then we could carry on. But it was, I won't say it was quick, but it was probably in less than 6 months. I mean, it's pretty quick.
And with what she was when she first met Barnaby, right? She had just been starting the training. So
yeah, but she's bitchy. That's flirting for her.
But now she absolutely.
I know, but she would have eventually. That's her version of flirting is to be like, get out of my face. Did I do that well?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Yeah. I'm the boss here. He's like, oh no.
When he mimicked her?
Yeah, he knows. He's still got PTSD. We might tap on him. But anyway, what time is it? I have to teach.
Yeah, you've got 15 minutes before you got to get in class, so we got to...
Wrap it up. Okay. And I hope this has been fun. It's been really fun for me.
Well, Colette just said, Joan, you're sharing some gems today. So grateful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I love these things. I love all these little... those are such easy things. Like, we don't even realize how much our energy is affecting things. One good trick, when your lights go on and off, or your computer like blinks out, I always take a breath and I ask the lights if it's my dead sister or if it's me. And half the time it's me. So when my energy's wonky, I take a deep breath, or I go walk outside, or I ground, because I can mess with everything if I'm like this. So the more I'm like this, it's why I have a very calm household. And it's the only way I want a household to be. And it's the only way I will have a household. So little things add up to big things. And anything big and great starts with little steps, right? And so even for me, like, animal communication is my first go-to. Then I'll add tapping, then I'll add scalar wave, but I've probably made a big shift with the client just with the animal communication. So I'm going to accept when I get on a session, I'm on to be a change agent.
Oh, hi. I got switched around. Hello, everybody. I don't know what just happened, and then you just got switched again. That did it by itself. Talk about messing with energy.
Oh my God.
I wasn't even touching it. I didn't touch it when it flipped to me, and I didn't touch it when it flipped back to you.
That's wild. Okay, so there we go. Because she had her hands on her other phone and was going through the comments. But anyway, so when I'm on to do animal communication, I'm there to make a shift. So I've got to have great energy to start with. And then I've got all these tools and techniques I do every day, so that by the time I get to class to teach, or I get to an animal communication session, or even like, I'm writing, getting books done. I want to be my best for that. I want to be efficient and use my time well. I don't want to be, like, oh, let me clean out the fridge. No, time to ground, So having these little techniques, like Colette said, gems, little things add up to the whole. Like, I ride dressage, and so it's the little teeny exercises that lead up to the fancy moves. It's all the same. It just gets added to. So these are all things you can do at home for yourself. And when we start with us, we have a much better chance of making change around us.
Okay, so I'm going to go back.
That's so funny about that energy.
That was weird because I wasn't even touching your phone. And then when I was trying to find the flip for the camera, it wasn't there. It did it again. Hi, everybody. It did it again. Oh, my God. Turn around. Holy cow.
Yeah, we've got some help here.
Okay, no, I'm all freaked out. Holy shit.
Just a couple of witches sitting around making stuff up.
Wow.
Okay.
Right.
Claudia just swore. So anyway, I think it's time to wind it up because I've got to teach and God knows what's going to happen there. And I'll see Stevie and yeah, I'll see a few of you. So I am...
Michelle Schumann wants us to do it again.
Oh my God, so funny. So funny.
Really quick, I do want to bring this up, and we'll get to all the comments. Bernadette Sector, who is a student in the program, and she's also a holistic veterinarian. She says, yes, the bladder sweep is wonderful. I use it all day long in work, and people are amazed how quickly it calms the pet. Love the both of you. Wacky. We love you, Bernadette.
We love you, Bernadette.
Bonnie Park says she saw me in red before the camera turned around twice.
That's funny.
Bonnie, you are very in tune. Colette says insert Twilight Zone theme here.
Exactly.
Cindy says we are a strange and wonderful pair.
That's true.
Melissa Olbit says thank you for today on all levels. Someone, I lost it, you guys. I'm sorry because this thing that said that their energy came up from today. So hold on. Rachel Ann Park says inspired.
Rachel, we have to talk. Tuesdays are hard for me on the Tuesdays that I teach, but I'm going to sneak a lunch call.
Cindy Summerall says she needed this reminder today. Donna Callion, sorry. My energy level has come up for sure. Thanks for the boost.
Sure. So anyway, I'm just going to remind you we have Energy Healing for Animals Level 1 starting on May 28th. In June we have Intro to Death, Dying, and Beyond, the virtual retreat. In July we have Finding Lost Animals Through Animal Communication. And in the fall we have the Fall Intensive, which is Animal Communication, Animals in Transition, Death, Dying, and Beyond, and Energy Healing for Animals. So I'd love to... and the book club. Oh my God. Thank you. Remember, June 16th, this is going to be so fun for all of us to read this because I really think honoring such a smart guy, honoring the intelligence of animals, right? Honoring that we didn't... Well, this guy was a self-proclaimed vet. He made himself... He was went from slave. The human went from slave to Civil War. He was a war veteran, and then he became a veterinarian. And he literally traveled with this horse. And to me, the stories of it's just amazing. And
it was with kindness, is what you would.
Yeah, with kindness. And I also want to say that even though he may have been a veterinarian, like, we don't need science to show us how smart. It's great when it shows up and that they've done the research, but it's stories like these. So funny. It's stories like these that are...
Oh my God. Wow. It just keeps turning around on me. I'm just going to do this. But yes, book club got pushed to June 16th, and we will see you all next week.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
It's not finishing. Whoa. for some reason, it doesn't want to stop.
Well, I'll just keep going.
Sorry, you guys.
You can always turn the phone off.
But then we'll lose it.
Oh, right. My phone has a life of its own.
I just remembered.
What's that?